Hello, everybody. Let's see here. Welcome to JESSYE Live. I'm here, Jesse J. Blige, little Jesse, Jess with the mess, whatever you want to call me today. I'm coming on here today. We got a couple people in the live. Okay, I see my guest in the background. All right. Make sure y'all drop down in the chat. I'm not about to belabor the hour. I'm not about to be up here all night because people got stuff to do. Don't y'all hate when y'all be watching live sometimes and people just be over there pandling around waiting for that number to tick up? Girl, this ain't the pandemic. Well, child. This ain't the pandemic no more. I don't got all day to be fooling around with y'all. Hey, y'all, we waiting for. I'm gonna wait till the number go up to 10 people. I don't got all day for all of that. I got stuff to do tonight, honey. Got stuff and people to see and places to be. So tonight we're gonna talk a little bit about. I have my good friend Dr. Andrea Pugh-Kelley on, and we're going to do a little bit of talking about the SuperFlu that's going around, and we'll talk a little bit more about all of that. We'll talk a little bit about politics and a little bit about church culture, pop culture, or whatever comes to mind. So we're just going to be a little bit laid back tonight. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bring her up. Let's see here. Hey.
Hi.
Oh my God, I have been talking to you in ages.
I know.
Oh my God.
How
Wow.
are you?
Honey, I'm all over the place right now.
Oh, I'm all over the place. You see, I have on a headset. I'm on a PTA meeting over here. My kid is doing dress up. She currently has on a piece of a Monsters Inc. Boo costume, a bow, a huge bow, like an 8-inch bow, a pink tutu, and half of a Little Mermaid costume. And so I can't stop her if she comes over here. So, yeah, I too have a lot going on. With this handy dandy work from home noise canceling headset, I hope it does the job because it's a lot going on over here.
No, you definitely sound. I can hear you just fine. I had to actually switch my thing over to the microphone so I wouldn't have feedback and stuff going on. So, but okay. Oh my God, your baby is in school.
She is in preschool. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yep.
Wow. And it just seemed like you and your husband. Look, let me first say this. So me and before I met Andre, because we didn't meet until we were a freshman in high school.
That's a
But
whole thing. Are those people out of prison? I'm not gonna get sidetracked.
that man died.
Ain't nobody told me nothing.
I didn't tell nobody. I think I'm the only one that know. I just, I be seeing stuff and I be forgetting to tell people stuff.
How did you see this?
I looked up his name and the obituary came up. Hey Sean, Nathan, hey JP.
He died in prison or he had gotten out?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So, okay. So just a little background. So me and Andrea met in the 9th grade. So we were in this play. And that's how we were able to get to the first inauguration for Barack Obama. It was paid and everything, but it was janky as hell. Okay. So,
Okay, that's not how I tell it. From my perspective,
oh God.
I was recruited and auditioned for a play to be performed at the Kennedy Center during the Obama's inauguration.
Period. That's what I'm supposed to say, but I never bring that up at all in conversation. I never bring
I
that up.
do because at the end of the day, I'm in a playbill and I performed at the Kennedy Center.
Do
So
you still have your playbill?
somewhere, I'm a hoarder. I keep everything. I'm in
My
a
mom has
playbill.
it. My
There's
mom has it
nothing.
somewhere.
There's nothing anybody can tell me. I performed at the Kennedy Center. I'm
You
in a
mean
playbill.
the Trump Kennedy Center?
I performed at the Kennedy Center.
Oh. But yeah, we performed at the Kennedy Center, and these are things I never really
I
talk
am an
about. I never
acclaimed
bring any
artist.
of this stuff up.
I am an artist. You have me searching this man's obituary. This is
John Gray, I think with the
his
AY.
his name was Gregory.
I mean, yeah, Gregory Gray. That was a lifetime ago, honey. But but yeah, so we had met during that whole experience. So, anyways, but me and her husband, Kevy, were friends in middle school before that. So, but the funny part about me and Kevy, we used to like sit around. This is like back during the MP3 days or whatever during LimeWire, and we would sit back and just be church kids all the time. We would sit back and like, oh, you heard that new Coco CD? You heard that new Breath of Praise or whatever was out at the time, and like me and him would just, but it's so funny because like I be seeing videos of y'all and him like, because he's like an elder or a deacon or something now. Huh?
None of the above.
I thought he was like clergy. Well, he still go to church regularly, honey,
Correct.
and he in the
Yes, he's
choir.
the minister of music.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's like I'm just a heathen, I'm a heathen.
Not your Beyonce's church girl.
I'm
You have me distracted. I can't find no obituary. Ain't nobody told me nothing.
that man passed away, and I feel like this was before the pandemic.
No, he didn't. Now you're lying.
It
No, he
it
didn't.
was it
Mm-mm.
was within like the
I had
last
been. Mm-mm,
5 to 7 years.
mm-mm, mm-mm. And why wouldn't you tell anybody?
Because I'm just like I'm delusional and I'm always in my own little world. Like I don't like I don't think of I don't even tell people that I went to the Kennedy Center and performed at
And
all.
see,
Like
that's where you're messing up because I am a critically acclaimed artist. I have performed at the Kennedy Center. Were we eating kids' meals from McDonald's every day?
oh my god. See, that's the part that I put in the back of my head and I'm like I don't want to talk about that at
Now,
all whatsoever.
Cheryl might have died, but that's kind of a common name.
I don't it one of them passed away for sure. And I'm in Detroit and I'm starting to get into the theater world. I never see any of them. So they gotta be gone. John Gray, I swear he died like a little bit ago.
Isn't John Gray the pastor? That man's name is Gregory, and he did
Gregory
not die.
Gray. He died. Gregory Gray.
We were being hazed
We were like that
so
when
bad,
he was so abusive.
but it's okay.
You know what? Was
And
it
then,
that did I look you no, and we're gonna do this after the show, but I think I looked him up on Otis.
yeah, yeah,
You looked him
he's
up
in
on Otis?
prison, not in the grave.
No, I feel like it said deceased on there or something.
Oh my God, he died in prison during the pandemic.
I'm gonna look this up and then I'm on because I swear to
I'm
God
gonna
that man
say
passed
this:
away.
these people were great people that only had a dollar and a dream, and they did what they had to do to make their dream happen, and it landed them in federal prison
He went to Fred.
or state prison
No, you right because okay, so what?
because it was something dealing with like HUD.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had okay, it's pulling up
embezzling
the
funds.
yeah, it's pulling up the article or whatever. But yeah, so they had embezzled funds, like they had went to prison 2 years after that, and it was just crazy because it
We
was
sitting
just
around waiting for them to call us because they told us that we were taking our Obama play on the road. So we were just waiting for them to call us so that we could go on tour because we were going to drop out of school and be child actresses and actors. I was this close to being on Lion King on Broadway.
2009. Wow, that seemed like so long ago. The only thing I really remember is just oh my god, and then they had us going to
Oh no, wait, wait,
the
we got to
homeless
lead up to it.
shelter.
It wasn't their fault.
It
I was
wasn't.
there when it unfolded. They asked what I don't think they realized was a homeless person, where's some good seafood around here? I mean, some good soul food around here.
I'm just finding this out.
And the man said, right there, they have soul food in the church. I don't know where my mom was, but I ended up with taco. And I was like,
Oh
this
yeah.
is weird. Because they were like, oh, you have to sign in with an adult, and like Taco signed me in, and I'm like, we're giving a restaurant all this information.
And see, I'm just now finding this out because I was like, they had us at that was the like camel, that's the straw that broke the camel's back because I was just like, no, they had us in a homeless shelter eating food with
No, that
them.
wasn't their fault unless they set up that homeless person to ask them that, give them that answer. And so
That was
then I just remember my mom ended up showing up and she's like, "Where's the bill? Because we're leaving. We got to go get something else to eat." And they're like, "Oh no, there's no bill. It's Jesus paid it all."
oh my god.
Yeah. So
I
all
was so
50 of us
over it.
probably took food from people that really needed it.
I mean, I don't think everybody ate because I don't think I even ate that
I
day.
couldn't stomach it.
Yeah, because homeless shelters, it's no shade, but it's just like, oh my goodness. So, okay, well, introduce yourself to the audience. I know you just got your doctorate, what, like 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago?
Oh my God, almost 3 years ago.
Wow. Time go by so fast. And
Wow.
you graduated from Florida, was it Florida State?
A&M. Oh, baby, don't say that.
Okay. I didn't know if it was FAMU or what
Yeah,
it was. It
yeah.
is
So
FMA.
I attended Florida A&M for undergrad, and I majored in environmental science. I initially thought that I wanted to go to med school, but I also had this like aching obsession with why are people and why are things in Saginaw the way that they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't know like how I could conceptualize that to make it something that I could have a career in. So like I said, I majored in environmental science, and I was receiving money from the federal government, in which that kind of like put me in a box in which I had to do hardcore science research versus what I really wanted to do, in which my whole thing is like, I want to find out, I want to know why things are the way they are in Saginaw and why people act the way, like from the mental, physical, like all of the things. I wanted to know why.
Yeah, and most people, it's not that many people. It's gonna be more people coming in as we talk though. But anyways, um, most of them know that I'm originally from Saginaw, and I tell people, I'm like, you might not have ever heard of it, and I tell people that's down here in Detroit, even I'm like, y'all don't know how it is. Like being in Detroit is one thing, but being in Saginaw, especially when we grew up there, was a whole just you can't make that experience up for nothing because it's like it's country, it's small, it's an
And
industrial wasteland.
well, yeah, and we grew up in a period in which I feel like we only had a couple years of experiencing Saginaw at its prime. And so it's like you have a whole economy that's dependent on the auto industry, but it's crumbling
Mm-hmm.
in our faces. And so like
Rapidly.
it crumbled in our childhood, but people that were raised by their grandparents or raised around their grandparents that had the opportunity to get these careers straight out of high school, they still were seeking after that and are still seeking after that. And
Yeah.
it doesn't exist. Like you,
No.
it's here today, gone tomorrow. I don't care what anybody says. Like the money, the job security, the pension, it's not what it was.
No.
And so what ended up happening was that I was pressing through, doing all the things that I had to do to be able to keep the funding that I was on, but also by the time my senior year, junior year comes, the Flint Water Crisis is like boiling.
Oh, yeah.
And so that gave me an opportunity, especially when I went home for winter break of my senior year. And then during my spring break, I chose to go home and do some work, volunteer work at Hurley Medical Hospital, and get a chance to sit down with like the lead doctor, Dr. Mona Hanna Atisa, and like really
Mm-hmm.
get an idea of what was going on the ground and like how I, as a student researcher, could help or contribute to the questions that needed to be answered. So also like academically at this time I'm learning about environmental justice, and like I'm like, okay, all these light bulbs are going off in my head. Like finally I see like a place for me to be able to combine science and figuring out what the heck is going on in my hometown. Like why are things the way they are? Like everything's coming together.
Yeah.
So I ended up graduating from FAMU, and I returned home to the University of Michigan, where I received my master's degree in public health.
Okay.
And so, like me being in Ann Arbor at the height of the water crisis, I really got a chance to get a little bit more boots on the ground to be able to work not only like as a citizen scientist, but
Mm-hmm.
I also was like working at the Mott Foundation as an environmental fellow and things like that. So I'm like able to do all the things that I wanted to do, like go away to school, get this wealth of knowledge, and like be able to apply it in real time, because
Yeah.
the things that my textbook is telling me, like by definition, like what environmental racism is, like what it means or what it looks like, the harms of living in post industrial communities like
Mm-hmm.
Saginaw, Flint, Detroit. Like I'm able to like immediately apply that, and so that was really like rewarding, I would say. And then I returned back here to start my doctorate research because it's not really talked about a lot. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but at the end of the mainstream Flint Water Crisis, we started talking about a new thing, in which is called PFAS, or forever chemicals. They're found in everything. And so,
Mm.
whereas when we're talking about things like lead in water, typically you'll find lead in drinking water more so in low income minority communities, especially those of which are in homes that are older.
Mm-hmm.
And we have lead pipes, we have lead that can be found directly from the drinking water source. But when we're talking about PFAS in water, it's a totally different ball game. It crosses like financial barriers, racial barriers, because it's in everything. We use
Mm.
these chemicals for waterproofing products. We use them for stain treatment. So a dry cleaning facility or an industrial facility,
Mm-hmm.
or even like in the plastics, you'll hear like things like, you know how like those general like articles will go viral. It's not even really an article on Facebook, but it'll be like a graphic like, oh, new toxic. It's new research shows that
Yeah.
simply lemonade is toxic. It's usually PFAS. And so I did my research for my doctorate degree on that chemical and how it's impacting or will be impacting like our drinking water sources in Michigan. But that was a really unique experience because I did most of my PhD during the pandemic, and then I also was pregnant. So, by the time 2021 comes around, it's like, oh girl, Bill Gates, the clock is ticking. Like you have to finish.
Oh yeah. So
And so I
you.
had 10 years to finish that. Well, 10 years, and they gave us like one extra year for COVID to complete through our PhDs with Bill Gates funding. So I'm like, okay, Um, I have a 2-month old at this point, but I needed to somehow get from Florida to Michigan in the middle of the pandemic and get out on Lake Michigan and Lake Huron and collect water samples. So I literally took my kid.
It wasn't in the cold, was it?
No, it was in July. Um, and she was breastfeeding, and she wouldn't take bottles. So she
And
had
she's an active little girl. I know she was young, but I know that was a
no. She's
mess.
always been that. It was a complete. It
Yeah.
was a complete mess. Also, because like these chemicals are in everything, we could not um have like the clothes that we had on. We couldn't have used dryer sheets with them. Couldn't wear deodorant that day. I couldn't have. I didn't eat actually because there's so many like fast food wrappers that this chemical is in, because like it helps with grease stains and things like that. So it was a whole mess. And so like Kevy's driving me around, the baby's in the car, I'm hopping out, like running like around people's houses to try and like access the
Girl,
water.
the phone over there roaming because you get out there on the lake and it be all the cell phone service bad.
And I was just like, I like this cannot be my life. Then we get to this one point in which I'm like, why am I like sinking? Quicksand. Michigan apparently has quicksand.
Yeah, we do. And you was on
And
Lake
I could have died.
Michigan. You were on Lake Michigan.
And there was one point in which it was like the hills have eyes. Like I could feel these people like coming out their houses like, what is this Negro girl doing out here with these pink waders on? So when I got back, I made sure to find the most Caucasian of professors, and I told him, so when I have to go back, you have to come with me.
On Lake Michigan?
Yes, and I had a much better experience. People probably thought
What
I was his assistant or something, but no,
what city were you in?
I traveled the whole entire, what is
Okay.
that?
The
East?
coastline.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, I know like some areas can be like rather okay, but like if you start getting up like way up north, they do start getting weird up there. You right. So I thought you were maybe down by like Muskegon or something.
No,
Yeah, okay.
very, very weird. But like in all of that, like the pandemic is also happening, and I'm like, it's too much real life going on for me to like be focusing on this, and also knowing that as a black woman in this field, like this will be my life. Like I'm not committing myself to going out on these field missions and
In the middle of
having
nowhere.
no. And so I had like this huge moment in which I was at this international conference in Grand Rapids randomly, and it was like a meeting of minorities in environmental science or something like that. And the topic was about like doing field work as a black person or as a person of color. And the stories that people were telling about like guns getting pulled out on them in the field while they're out trying to collect like soil samples, water samples, I was like, okay, so it's not just me. It's not just me. But
Wow.
yeah, there was just a lot of real life going on, and like I said, I have a master's of public health, and it was like I rather be informing the public. Like I rather be doing anything but this right now.
Yeah.
And so like I've kind of found a couple outlets during the pandemic to be able to um communicate, I guess a lot. It was very frustrating at times, but I was able to do some work with like communicating directly with the public and providing trainings and things like that for
Hmm.
people to be able to understand like what things mean.
So JP asks, can you drink the water in Michigan now? So, and that's one thing that was kind of crazy, like with the whole Flint water crisis. I was actually like living in Flint, like the day the emergency was
Mhm.
declared. It was like the day I moved there, but I didn't stay. I just was there for a year. But a lot of people thought that it was like the whole state of Michigan. No, it was just isolated to Genesee County, just the Flint, just the Genesee
Yeah.
County. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And so with that, we have nationwide water quality issues. So that's why
mhm.
I get really sensitive. I take water jokes like very personally
Yeah.
because like the the issue with the Flint water crisis is that we have this nationwide issue that is well known.
Mhm.
We have a statewide issue that's well known with it being a post-industrial city. Our waters are continually contaminated, and then we already have like known impacts of like increased asthma rates, increased ADHD rates, and things like that as a
Uh-huh.
result of us already having elevated lead levels in water. So now you have an instance in which a community is now directly drinking a unknown cocktail. We know at least lead, but also who knows what else directly on top of the issues that we already had. So it's like I think that the Flint water crisis, the people of Flint are going to have generational
Yeah,
sufferage because of this. But at the same time, they're blessed in that they were at least able to uncover their issue.
yeah,
There is
because
a Flint water crisis everywhere. I remember I was
yeah,
home, and like I said, we have elevated lead levels across the state, across the country. And so they were probably as a result of the Flint water crisis doing some additional testing in the city of Saginaw. And my granddad had already told me, like, oh, the city has been by here like 2, 3 times saying that they want to recollect our water sample. And so I'm like, they probably just don't want to accept the result. Um, but I think that the Flint water crisis, we didn't learn enough from it. I don't think, just like
what
COVID, we
did
don't learn enough from anything. Because even like, for example, when you see a action level, is typically what is called, I think, to the public, for like a contaminant like lead.
mhm.
That doesn't necessarily mean that that's a health standard.
Yeah.
Like for lead, I think that the standard was created because it was like that's the concentration in water in which it would start corroding the pipes. That has nothing to do with your body.
So, okay. So really, so it sounds like there's always lead in the
Yeah.
water. It's just that lower concentrations
And they
everywhere,
can
pretty much.
also vary. There's so the concentrations at any given time can vary for a slew of reasons. Now, during the Flint water crisis, um, you had a source of water in which they've been using since before the Clean Water Act was established in Lake Huron, right?
Yeah.
The same source that Saginaw gets their water from. But then it
Hmm.
was like, why don't we just like cut Detroit out and like we can just build our own pipeline? Which is, oh wow, special effects. Okay. Which is all
Pipeline.
good, but like what are you gonna do in the meantime? They're like, oh, just let them drink out the Flint River.
And then it was just like, and for people that don't know, the Republican at the time, a state government made that decision. And anybody in the state of
Well,
Michigan,
hold on. So in Michigan,
okay,
another weird thing, we had this
emergent,
emergency
yeah,
manager law in which statistically, if you are a person of color, you are more likely to live in a city with an emergency manager. An
that's right.
emergency manager takes all governmental power, all democratic
All
whatever,
local
away
power.
from
Yeah.
citizens, whatever. So us growing up in Saginaw, we had an emergency manager. He hops over to Flint. He's now the Republican governor
And I never
appointed.
could stand that old darn there early. I never could
He's
stand
now the
him.
Republican appointed city manager for the city of Flint. One person gets to make whatever decisions.
Hmm. And it's all about the dollar and that's the thing I was telling
But
people.
it was always about the dollar because you're like, oh, we can build this pipeline, but let them just drink out the Flint River. The
Hmm.
Flint River is an industrial waste.
Land, dump, river,
I
source.
don't even know. Literally, there was periods of time. I'm not going to accuse them of this now, and I won't say their name because I will not be sued. There was periods of time in which auto companies were dumping directly into the river through an
Hmm.
open pipeline. Like it would come out
And
the plant and go directly into the river.
now this is one thing that I learned from you, because she be posting on Facebook
I'm
all the
screaming.
time about different things that's going on in her realm. This type of stuff don't go viral, but we be laughing at it. And so one of our former GM plants, they wanted to convert it. Oh, well, they had tore it all down and they wanted to convert it over to housing. And you were like, the half life ain't even there yet. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that from high school, like
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's still toxic, and but that's how they do us. They,
And that's what I'm saying. I just
mhm,
told you about forever chemicals. PFAS, it's
yeah.
never going, like, That's just one chemical. And we're talking about the auto industry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the Flint River, as it's flowing down industry. Like,
Yeah, you got farm runoff, all of that, you coming
yeah.
into, and we
And so
all,
there was nothing changed. Nothing changed within the
mm-mm,
water treatment process to be able to account for you drinking out of the Flint River.
yeah.
And so what initially sounded the alarm was GM was like, something's going on with the cars that we're building.
Oh,
We're pulling out.
wow. I never
So it
knew
was
that.
never even that they were listening to
Because the
people.
citizens were like going off.
Yeah.
We had the
And
same
so
news
lead
station.
in water isn't necessarily going to be brown. The brown comes from you were
Any
just drinking
chemical.
industrial
Yeah.
poop. But the color of water should be tasteless, odorless, all the less. And so people were like experiencing brown water. People were saying their hair was falling out. All these different things. None of it mattered. But then General Motors was like, something's up with our cars that we're building. We're not going to use this water
I
anymore.
never knew. And see, these are the things that we never find out in national media because most of the, well, yeah, except one person, all of them are from out of state. So they don't know the ins and outs. Even I didn't know that detail. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so Mayor Weaver ends up getting elected into office. I want to say November 2015.
Yeah, it
And so
was.
that's when
Yeah.
things start. She immediately declared a state of emergency. Like, that's when we get things rolling. But I really think had she not have become mayor, it just would have been more of a cover up, and the people of Flint just would have been like some ookie cookie
Yeah.
crazy people.
Do
But I say
you,
the question about how many
okay.
people died. So like I said, the water became just like a cocktail of contaminants. So people dying, I'm not sure how many people have died or have died at all directly related to lead. However,
Yeah.
there was another crisis that happened, and that was the
Hmm.
Legionnaires
Yeah, I
outbreak.
remember that. Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Um, I don't remember off the top of my head how many people died, but when we're talking about, like I said, I'm only speaking on one contaminant. When we're talking about something like lead, it
It's hard to track.
doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So lead can mimic calcium in your body. When you're pregnant, it will, because it'll store in your bone. Like, it can exit your bones, recirculate through your blood system, meet your baby, have a little meeting with your baby, and I mean the that's why I said it's like it's generational damage. Um,
Because like,
so
and then I don't think they can really, because what's happened to Flint, a lot of people have moved. Even when I was still working there and still like living there for some time, a lot of people move. If you go, like Flint always had like problems or whatever since we've been alive. Um, and but it's like now that you go back there, and we went to church in Flint and all of that, so I know Flint pretty well. Um, but when you go back there, like the neighborhood where my childhood church is, it looks like it just this it's deserted, and it's because of the Flint water crisis that all had happened. Yeah, it's crazy. So, and I was gonna say, I was telling this guy that I used to work with. He was a MAGA back, 10 years ago, and I was telling him, I'm like, you know, when you have businessmen, like businessmen never make good politicians. And I was telling him that then about Rick Snyder and about Donald Trump. I'm like, they don't care about people. They just want that dollar, that bottom
and
line.
that's all it was. And
Yeah.
it's like from day one, all we had to do was adjust. I'm not going to say all we had to, but we could have adjusted the water treatment process if
Right.
anybody cared.
Or maybe just kept the pipeline going from Detroit
Yeah,
until you got everything
yeah.
situated, so it was just ridiculous. They could have even got grants together, to pay for the water bills because the water bills were so high. So
The
it's a
water
million
bills were so high, and they were
yeah.
so high for 1,000 reasons, but they kept flushing the water and, like, having people run their water. All these things
Mm-hmm.
were creating increased water usages. So, yeah, one of the things that I worked on when I was working at a nonprofit in Flint was like water affordability, and it was, once again, problems that existed before the crisis, and then you add a crisis. Like,
Yeah.
how do we navigate this? And then it's like, for the most part, once the news cameras left Flint, it was like, oh God, thanks. Finally, we can like relax
Oh
on the work that we're
wow.
doing.
Okay. Um Now, so we're about what 10 years from the water crisis. Well, from the initial water
Mhm.
crisis, because it never really was, because that's what everybody's trying to pretty much figure out. Like, what was the end goal? And people
So, and one of the
still,
main end goals was replacing the pipes. But there's still so much like with that.
wow.
I honestly don't know the current. When I was in Flint, well, working in Flint, I was keeping up with that, but I don't know the current status of pipe replacement. I saw recently where citizens were getting new notifications about something with the pipes, but there's so much that goes into pipe replacement, and even like the city replacement versus what's in your house.
Right.
If your house still has lead line pipes and it meets the city's new not lead line, that's a whole nother thing. So I I don't know. I just wish that though money can't fix everything, money can fix so much. Um,
Yeah.
and I just wish that there was some such substantial class action, something that they could get going.
Yeah, because like they only really gave things to kids and people that could prove that they had like Legionnaire's disease or
Yeah.
whatever. Because like I filled out all that stuff. It was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
bye. Your grown tail ain't getting nothing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So and they got more, I guess, lawsuits, but I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm not sick now, so I don't know what's gonna happen. And I didn't like we by the time I moved there, like I knew not to really do anything with the water, but I still like brush my teeth, wash my clothes, so you never know.
Oh, you'll
But
never know
yeah,
because I mean, and that was another. I feel like another major failure was focusing so much on lead. We
yeah.
cannot like it- we cannot just say lead in water if we who went and test what is in the river.
But any and that was something else I was gonna bring up. Anybody with a brain, we always knew that any inland river in the
Yeah.
state of Michigan, you don't eat that fish. You don't, and they got the signs posted everywhere. You don't eat that fish. You don't drink that
And
water.
people do,
I,
and I
oh,
hey, I don't go to everybody's fish fry, but
okay.
people do, and the state of Michigan, that was another thing. The state of Michigan provides guidelines for fish consumption and
Hmm.
like deer and whatever else people are out there hunting, and so we
My
saw,
granddad, one of them country ass bumpkins,
hey,
doing all of that.
hey,
Well, he don't do it
I'm
no more because then got old. But
not judging, but you know, with the PFAS and the forever chemicals crisis, that was one of the things that kind of sounded the alarm, was like, these chemicals are coming up in fish and deer, so we need to create a guideline or change the
yeah,
guideline so that we can properly inform the public about their consumption. Like, if you eat whatever it is that people are eating, like you should only eat however many of these per month to be able to stay under the recommended guideline of whatever.
yeah, and we used to even though we used to kind of go up north, but that was like north of Midland, and that was still the tip of the YC
Yeah.
and all of that. So yeah, that's so much fun. Let's talk about real quick about this super flu. Because and that's the reason why I reached out to you. I was like, come over here and talk about this mess real quick. Because first of all, we don't have the CDC anymore. They gutted that.
Hmm.
And I'm like, everybody at my job is sick. Like it's so many people sick right now, and it's like it's giving COVID Junior.
It's so overwhelming too.
Yeah,
I always get nervous around this time because it's like, oh my God, it's the holidays, and people feel like because it's the holidays, nothing like nothing matters.
right,
Like,
right.
oh, like I want to see you or you want to see me, even though I'm sick. I don't. And so I end up getting sick I went to New York. Um, and I don't know if I got sick in New York or immediately after, but it was a couple days, maybe like 3, 4 days after I got back from New York. I just went down. Like, I was working on my computer, and then I was like, I need to go take a nap. And I laid down for that nap, and that evening, like, Kebby had to pull up to the front door, and so I could make it to the truck. I went to urgent care. They tested me for strep, the flu, COVID, and they were all negative. Like,
Mm-hmm.
my chest was hurting, and my throat was like unbearably sore, and I just had like aches and pains that I couldn't tolerate it. And I have like chronic conditions that contribute to chronic pain. Like, I'm a thug. I deal with pain. But
Mm-hmm.
I could not. And so when I got there, they were like, "You just started feeling sick today?" And I'm like, "Yes, at noon." I was out. And so basically they told me to treat it like the flu. It was probably just too early, yada yada yada. I created a quarantine center in our guest room, and I was in there for 8 days. Like, I thought my kid forgot I existed. We didn't get to have our friendsmas party,
Oh my
nothing. And it was like the whole
God.
time I was in there, I was having these crazy dreams, and I was just like, this, whatever this is that I got, this cannot go mainstream. And then I remembered there was a couple people like that I talked to that had recently said they had been sick for weeks.
Yes, it's been like what 2, 3 weeks, right?
And so I reached out to them and I was like, how's it going over there? I think I got whatever you have. And so then I knew of somebody who recently died from the flu that's our age, and my chest was still hurting. And I was like, okay, I got to go to the hospital. Like, I got to do an EKG or something because they told me that my heart rate was elevated at urgent care, but my EKG was normal. But I wasn't comfortable with that. And I was like, if this is a new something, like, I'm not gonna be the martyr for, oh, she was the patient zero. So went to the hospital. It was a madhouse in there.
And
It was
you had got back to Florida by this time, right?
from New York, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, I didn't know if you were up here or not.
Oh no, no, no,
You
no,
was
no,
in
no.
Florida. Okay.
This is December, the week of December 12th,
Okay.
14th, whatever, that following week. It was a madhouse in there. There was nowhere for them to put us. So we're like in closets. I was in like a tree. I don't even want to call it a triage room. I never made it to a room, and I was there for 4 or 5 hours.
And
Wait,
you were in Florida. I don't think they were even on the map for like the highest states.
and so once again, I tested again. This should have been enough time, incubation period, all that good stuff. I once again was negative for strep, COVID, flu. We did an x-ray for pneumonia, bronchitis, everything's negative. I told him, I was like, I can't stand up. Like, I feel like if I stand up, I'm going to pass out. Are you ready to like take care of me in this moment? Because we never made it's just people everywhere in the emergency room. We never made it to rooms because it's over, like, it's full, it's at capacity. And so they once again were trying to just pass it off. It's like, oh, it's the flu. But it also wasn't responding to cold and flu medications. And so I was like, fine, taking this into my own hands. I'm switching over to Allegra. The next morning, I was like, okay, all right. I'm like, congestion's starting to relieve because my head felt like it was going to explode. But I switched over to Allegra and something else. I think I was doing like Allegra and Mucinex, and I started to like come around.
But that was
But
what, two
that
weeks
was day
later?
7.
Wow. And see,
Yeah,
you
I
a
went to,
whole doctor, so you know what to like.
and that's why I was like, if it's the flu, it has to run its course. And I did not get my flu shot because I had an appointment that week, and I was just gonna do it then. Because it typically takes like 2 weeks for a flu shot to kick in, whatever. So I was gonna be okay to like be ready to go home to Michigan. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm just seeing so many other people with this same weird mystery virus. They're not testing positive for, the common things that we check for: COVID, flu, strep, and it's just taking people down. But what I will say is, I was able to rest. I went in that room and I was in the bed because I am self-employed. And in, like, America does not have a culture in which we respect people being sick and needing to recover. And also,
No,
we
because one of
have
my
created this badge of honor in which, if I go to work, like, I went to work, oh, I still went to church, oh, I still did this. No. And it's
mm-hmm,
like, did we not learn anything during the pandemic? Like, if you can, don't.
don't
And my
don't
child has asthma, so I was just like so nervous about her getting it because I know how bad I was struggling. Like, I couldn't look at my phone. I talked to my granddad 2 3 times a day. I hadn't talked to my granddad. I was just out. And I'm like, I don't know how people are pushing through this because I was trying to stand up and Kevin would like have to come get me with the office chair. Like, I'm rolling around in the office chair like the
Ooh,
dude from Cloudy with a
child.
Chance of Meatballs. Like, I was just done.
It was that bad. And
And
see,
that's the mystery virus. I ain't had the flu.
okay, wow. My coworker that sits behind me at my job, she's been down. She's still back there coughing, and so she had to come. Well, she took the day before Christmas off. She didn't come, but for us to get paid, she had to come the day before New Year's or the day after New Year's, one of them. And like you said, the culture in America is like, didn't we just learn 5 years ago what happened? And
We
it
didn't
feels
learn.
it feels like we're right back at 2019 going into 2020. It feels just like that, and nobody's talking about it. Everybody's just going around because I got sick in February of 2020, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is like I thought I wasn't gonna make it some nights." And
That's how
if
I'm telling you. That's how I was. I've had COVID before. I've had what was it? Bronchitis, the flu, and pneumonia together. I have never experienced that.
so,
I was out. And what I will say is Allegra, ibuprofen for the aches and pains,
uh-huh,
Mucinex, and
using
the
expert.
Vicks cool mist humidifier.
So,
Like,
and that's another thing. Mucinex and all of that. The only thing that really helped COVID, because I had it twice. The
mhm.
only thing that helped COVID was aspirin and water.
Okay.
So, like, because
Yeah,
I
but
take
COVID, I rode that out. I had the After Essence Fest COVID when
girl,
everybody got COVID in what 2022.
what? Oh,
Yeah, it was the Essence Fest COVID.
well, I had
Um,
the March, the
you
real
had the real
COVID.
one.
I had
Yeah.
it twice, and I had
See, I was the vaccine was out by then. Like, I didn't have the real COVID, so it put me down. But I was like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I could get up and go to the bathroom. I could whatever around the house because like me and my daughter had it at the same time, which was weird.
yeah.
I'm
Because
pretty sure she was the carrier. But anyways,
I got it from my mom because she worked for the schools.
yeah, the
So
kids.
yeah, she worked for the schools. I'm coming up from Detroit because she had our cousins. She was taking care of them at the time. So I'm coming up there helping her. Then I bring it back down here to my brother, and I also gave it because I was up there doing an event for my friend or whatever, and I gave it to her. My friend, we all the same age. To this day, she's still having heart problems,
Yeah,
and we're only 31. Third was 32, about to be
yeah.
32. So
Whatever this is the first day that I have had a piece of energy. Yesterday I was on the
wow.
floor. I'm talking
So
about something from basically a month ago, and it's like I just don't know where we go with this. Like, all I kept saying while I was sick, like in my head, was this cannot go mainstream. Like, whatever this is, The
And
public cannot.
Michigan is the battleground for it all. We it gets so cold here. Thank God it was 50 today and 50 tomorrow. Praise the Lord. Jesus coming back, girl, because
I'm
this
screaming.
gonna go on in January.
Hey,
But but it's like this is the battleground, and we're not that healthy of a state. We fat, I had just got from the gym when I turned this camera on, so I'm trying to get my body in order and stuff. So it's just like
oh,
I
and
know,
I also lost 10 pounds, so that's the plus side.
period, because that's the two times I had. Well, no, the last time I had COVID, I
Because
lost 10.
I really, I do my Pilates, but I need a little jump start, I guess, on my Tiana Taylor body. So,
But
hey,
so what do you think we should be doing for like remedies and stuff like that? Like what would be the preventative measures that you would say kind of like watch out for? I know you said stay your ass at home if you sick, but people don't listen.
people don't listen, and like for me, number one, I'm already like a public health girly, but my uncle was one of the first people to die during the pandemic,
Wow.
and we never got to have a funeral or anything. Like and this is my granddad's oldest brother. So going through that, and this is immediately, like this is as soon as the shutdown happened. Like he died that Saturday or something like that. But it was
Wow.
because somebody, it was the Usher's day or something at church, and somebody felt they still had to go and they were sick, and he basically was blindsided and died. And
It
so
was
he
a
was one of
mess.
those bodies that were just like refrigerated, because it was like, we don't know how to like do anything with these bodies, and like it's a shutdown. So like, what do we do with these? Yeah. So going through that, like, set the tone for me. Like
It's
there's
triggering.
nothing that important,
Yeah.
and so even with me going home, I was fully prepared to like have to lie to my kid and tell her Christmas was whenever, because it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not that deep.
And
I knew even if I had to wait until the next weekend or whatever, because it had been 10 days, but still, I don't
no,
feel
this
my
is
bad.
going longer than 10 days. This new stuff, this
I
junior.
I I hadn't had a fever since like the first couple days, but even still, like I don't know what this is. How am I supposed to know how long I'm contagious?
And your granddad is in his 80s. My
Yeah, and
granddad is in his
I
80s.
have to. I feel like I have to protect him. Between him and
Yeah.
my asthmatic toddler, please.
My
I don't care about nothing. And
and
I hate when people are like hugging and kissing him. Stop.
oh yeah, because
Why
he's
did we
a
leave that?
so Dr. Andrea, her granddad is a activist. He's worked with Jesse Jackson. He's ran our NAACP for years.
Oh baby, he don't run the NAACP. Don't get that to him. Mm-mm.
No, I'm talking about our chapter. My bad.
Oh no,
Thanks for
no,
clear.
just the youth part. He don't run the NAACP chapter.
He
Don't get
ran
that
the
to him.
NAACP and
Youth, don't you put that on my granddad?
listen,
Don't
but
you
no,
put that?
it's he's still a what we call it, national figure or whatever you want to call it. These people are going away, so we have to like be conscious about how we protect them. Even my granddad, I was gonna say, um, he got COVID last year. For the first documented time, because we think he had it back in 2019, but we don't know.
Yeah, so did John Pugh.
Yeah, October 2019.
His was Christmas.
Yeah. Um, but he got it again last year, and he got
Mhm.
the vaccines and all of that. But his 85-year-old body still had around a mini strokes, and he got
Mm.
diabetes and all of that carrying on. But he was able to bounce back. But I just think like, oh my god, like these vaccines, and everybody's so anti-vaccine, but I'm like, I swear that's what saved his life, because there's so many people that didn't make it. Imagine if he would have had a whole stroke.
And when my granddad got it, um, for the first documented time, because similarly, November, like late no, we went on a cruise for Thanksgiving, and like he went down after that. And I just remember like he has to have seafood around the holidays, and I just remember looking at him, and I'm like, "You're not gonna eat them crab legs? Like, what's up?"
You don't want to
And
eat
he was like,
none.
"I don't have an appetite." And
Mm.
so that was like week 2 or 3 for him. But still, like this is before the pandemic, so it's all like, "Oh, he's sick or whatever." Like not quarantine. Like that's not where we're at. So I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
could have got sick too, but we didn't. But 2023, he ends up getting COVID for the first documented time, and I think him being Mr. Superman, I want to say he didn't test positive at first
Yeah.
or something like that. Like the timing in which they tested was off, and so he ends up getting pneumonia, which thank God lands him in the hospital. And I think he went home and just still just wasn't recovering. And so he ends up going back in the hospital. And honestly, this is very traumatic, so I probably have erased this. I'm telling this wrong. Long story short, he's about to get discharged and he just passes out. And my mom's like, "Okay, so what was that?" And they're like, "That's probably nothing. Like, he's going to rehab. Like, he's fine."
Yeah.
And she just wasn't okay with it. And so thank God she wasn't okay with it. And that's another thing. Like, you really have to not just accept things that medical
Oh,
professionals
honey.
tell you because it's also what you want to hear, but you
Yeah.
have to be able to be comfortable with advocating for yourself and asking the questions, even if they make you feel stupid or
Yeah.
whatever. Because
Because the
her,
racism in the healthcare system.
yeah. And so she asked, and they're like, "We'll do we'll run some scans, but it's nothing." Child, they end up finding a tennis ball sized tumor on his brain.
Oh my
So
God.
I was in Michigan like the entire fall of 2023. Um,
Wow.
but it was just like, thank God for COVID because we wouldn't have found it. So he ended up having to
It's
have
like,
brain surgery.
what is these damn silver linings going around?
Yeah, what is happening here? So, yeah, I he ended up having to have brain surgery, and it was like, I mean, did the COVID aggravate the tumor? Like, did it make it grow
Hmm.
faster? Like, what? Because COVID, like from the jump, my observation was it attacks your weakness, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. I felt the same with whatever this mystery virus is. Like I have scoliosis and I have osteoarthritis and
Oh,
I have
girl.
spinal stenosis, so it felt like it was attacking that. And I was just so inflamed and I was in so much pain. Like I was just crying. Like literally I was just crying.
I would have
And
cried because I can only
my
imagine.
head just felt like it was going to burst. So I don't know what this is. I don't
Shit,
know, but we'll find out.
I got the
But
gout one time, honey. If they're following behind B Love, y'all know B Love from YouTube. She be eating all the shrimp and stuff.
wait a second. We all busted our cholesterol during the pandemic. Was this a unified experience?
This was
I
well,
was
yeah,
tearing crab.
yeah,
I was tearing
yeah.
crab boils down during the pandemic to the point where like I had to get blood work done. Like, what are you doing?
Well, this was
I've
before
been
the
eating crab boils every day.
pandemic. It was actually 2019, and I had she was like, I lost weight eating shrimp, and so I'm eating shrimp like for 5 days straight, girl. I got that gout. I said,
You were doing the
woo.
gout walk like the church mothers.
I had listen, and you at the time I was working for SPSD,
Oh, you were
honey.
walking just like them ladies.
I was over there in Crocs
You fit right
crying.
in. You fit
So
right
I
in.
had to go get the whatever the pill was. So I can only because that's a form of arthritis is why I brought
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
I can only imagine having to deal with all of that because that's pain.
Yeah. I'm telling you that head congestion and it was not responding to the flu medication. And I was like, yeah, I'm taking this into my own hands. Let me try Allegra. And Allegra Mucinex just, started to relieve that pressure and
Yeah. And
my
that was the
mucus was
opposite of what
so thick.
COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I
what else?
let me not say that.
No, go ahead and say it.
No, because I don't want the Lord to give it to me.
So, okay, do you take like any supplements or anything like that? Because I take oil of
So I'm
oregano.
really bad.
I
I'm
know
really
it's a challenge.
bad.
It takes
I'm
time.
really bad. Um, in a perfect world, I take B12. I take an iron pill because I tend to be anemic.
Hmm.
Vitamin D and a little elderberry. So when I got sick, I immediately got an elderberry and then another immunity supplement for my daughter. She's supposed to be taking it every day anyways, but I've been doing like a gummy and her dentist was like no more gummies. So I kind of was like lazy and dragging my feet on finding her an alternative. But when I got sick, I was like, okay, she's let me get her a little something. But we want these magical nuts and berries to do all these things after we're already sick and then be like, oh, the doctors never tell you about the nuts and berries and sniffing boiling orange peels. It's too late.
Mm.
So I
So we
mean,
need to
things
be
that I've
taking
been,
that
yeah,
already. Okay.
yeah. And I mean, there's things you can do. I saw a lot of people because I ended up going on like diving on threads and Twitter with people with this mystery illness, like doing well using oil of oregano and things like that
You
to
know,
kind of
that's my
start,
favorite. I swear by
yeah,
that.
with the
Yeah.
mucus and things like that. So it's all about treating your symptoms too. What worked for me might not work for the next person. It's a virus, so it's
We,
not, and that's the other thing. I saw somebody, they were like, "Oh, my mother-in-law wants the kids over, but my brother-in-law's kids have the flu and she told me that they can all be together after 24 hours."
this ain't the flu. This something else.
But even if it was, that's not how these things work. And so a lot of times with kids also don't get the attention they need while they're sick. But if you're giving them Tylenol around the clock, like that's what Tylenol's supposed to do. It's supposed to bring their fever down. So
Mm.
you giving them Tylenol does not, like, that doesn't, like, we need to know how long you've had a fever without giving them the medication that brings the fever down. But she was basically using the guidelines for strep throat. Like you're not contagious after 24 hours. That's not how this works with the
You
flu.
know,
There's
these people done lost their damn mind.
and they don't want to believe, they don't want to know. It's like if I don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, because like I was talking to one of my coworkers, love her to death, and we were talking about vaccines and stuff like that. And I got my flu vaccine, honey. It is what it is. I try to get it every year.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I'm not getting that. I don't do that. And I'm like, okay, friend. Because they, and I'm like, honey, the autism y'all be talking about, it
That came
don't,
from your granddad.
it gave granddaddy had a collection of cars, toy cars. And he used to play with them till the day he passed away. No shade. You
And
know,
that truck that's sitting outside is broke.
and he won't get rid of it. And he go out there and play with it every day. And so the autism was always there. It was just undiagnosed. So,
And that's a whole nother topic, but I'm just like, okay, so how do you plan on dealing with your child having meningitis?
I don't know. But they can get around it with religious things and stuff. And it's
Go
just
for
like,
it. But when your kid gets meningitis, what are you gonna do?
yeah. So it's,
Tetanus?
I had another question for you. Were you planning on like applying to the CDC ever, or were you just kind of like just gonna stay away from DC and all that jazz?
So I recently left the federal workforce.
Voluntarily or involuntarily? No, okay, you don't have to answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to answer that.
Yeah, but Donald Trump comes into office and within a couple of days, maybe like a week and a half, I give it 2, 3 weeks. All my research is gone.
Off the websites. Wow.
And we're not really talking about that part enough. Like it's all very real. Um that Black women are being eliminated from the workforce.
Oh, honey, listen, I bring this up on this channel all the time. About the eight, and they haven't updated the numbers, I don't think, since October for the
No.
unemployment rate and stuff.
Maybe it's quarterly. Oh, you're talking about,
No, it used
yeah.
to be
That they're not
monthly.
reporting. Oh, yes. I thought you were talking about Black women specifically, but yeah, no, they chose not to. And something about the inflation rate that they weren't reporting it.
830,000 Black women as of October 2025, which was damn near 4 months ago, are
And it's
unemployed,
just
and we know the
like,
number is higher.
these are the fields y'all told us to go into because we weren't in them, and then we got in them, and you're like, go.
And so, and that's one thing that I'm like real excited about, because it took me. I'm not Dr. Andrea Pugh-Kelley,
Shut
honey.
up.
I'm ghetto J Blige. So, I took my time. I had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and all of that. And so it's like, I'm about to graduate this year with my bachelor's. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, so y'all forced college down our throats all these years. You know how it was. We had to go through all them college campus tours and go to all these little different events and all of this and that.
And
And
they changed the game.
and it's just like they pulled a rug up under us. And then y'all lazy, y'all with these little fake degrees and all of this and that. And it's like, bro, there's never no break for, young Black people. Ever. It's totally not fair.
No,
And
no, it's
and the
just
job market
like
is trash.
job market's trash. And like I said, I'm self-employed, but I like to dabble in applying for jobs. And it's like I graduated high school and I went straight through. So I
Hmm.
also was not allowed to work.
And also, when we were in high school, we were dealing with the Great Recession.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
But
was
I was
another
not
thing.
allowed to work in undergrad for my as a requirement of my
That's
scholarship. I wasn't
th-
allowed to have employment.
oh,
So
for the
when you look
scholarship.
at my
Okay.
resume, it's like, uh, girl, what have you been doing with your life?
And you couldn't do it like even when you got your master's, huh?
I always worked summers, so
Okay.
fellowships, internships, the best of the best.
Yeah.
Like you put
You
my
y'all heard
resume.
what she said. She said Bill Gates
Yeah,
and
I mean, you
things.
put my summer employment up against anybody's, but I was not allowed to work
Mm-hmm.
from August to May, so I didn't get like. I feel like I was set up to only be able to work as a federal employee, basically.
I mean, I just assume, like, I was like, but I don't, I don't get in people personal business, but I was just like, the only thing you could really do is be a federal employee, unless it's like
Yeah,
some
with
state
with the
thing.
with the resume that I was groomed to create, I could only be what I was. Until I worked more years in DC. And so I was working remotely, but anybody
Is it
asked, I was working in
okay?
DC.
Is it okay if I share your website, your clothing website?
I'm screaming. Go ahead.
I just thought about it. I should have did that earlier. Y'all make sure y'all support Dr. Pugh-Kelley. She has a clothing website, honey. And you know what? I just never happened to go on there, but some of this stuff kind of cute.
I'm
Wait a
screaming.
minute. I need one.
I'm hollering. I'm about to send you a little nightgown, a little moo.
Look, listen, Muumu's comfortable because I wore
Yes,
my grandma's a couple of times.
I'm
So
screaming. But yeah, no, I did that. Been there, done that. I would say if Trump was not the president, there would be more opportunities for me to move around in the federal government. But under the current state, nope.
wow. Well, I mean, at least because well, it's a couple things I wanted to say to you. At least you got the entrepreneurial thing going on. You'll never be broke. We come from Saginaw, Michigan. You'll never be
Yeah.
broke. Um, but I really feel like you need to get into like doing podcasts and YouTube and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
And we
I wish I
talked
had
about
my
that
camera over
before.
here because me and my granddad recorded a little something.
Upload it, honey. You just got to go ahead and
Um,
upload it.
he he put on his little office voice, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Oh, he wasn't comfortable. He was trying to be TV.
Well, everybody knows that I always have a camera in my hand, so it makes people very nervous in my family because they should be nervous.
Period.
And so, it was so funny because like I was able to bring him down here while I was hosted at a couple hotels this summer. I'm also a content creator for those watching that. That was kind of a hard switch because I can do
Mhm.
anything I want. But
Yeah.
yeah. And so he was like, "So what did you do for this?" Because that doesn't make sense to people. They're like, "You can be a content creator," especially don't make sense to him.
Especially where we come from.
Yeah.
Because we
And
come
so we're
from
sitting in this
GM.
two-bedroom penthouse on the top of the world. And he was like, "So what do we have to do to like keep this up?" So he was like, "Hello, I'm John Pugh. How are you?
So
This
you
hotel is very nice and it has everything I need. The breakfast is great." Hilarious.
I
The
forgot
guy's
that
hilarious.
you do go viral on Facebook, don't you? You got like a
On
strong following on there. I
on
forgot all about
Facebook.
that.
I mean, Facebook isn't really my strong suit. I might
Is
get
it
a
TikTok?
little ruffles. TikTok, Instagram. TikTok,
I
Instagram.
look. I'm only so I don't know exactly like everything because I don't go around stalking people on their pages and stuff. But I just okay. But you need to get. I feel like you should do like more long form content.
I know it does better. It does better for me.
So because
I have a
yeah.
thousand things that I want to talk about too, and it's like, I don't want to scare people, in that all of these things are me, and it's like it's probably the lead, honestly. Probably the reason why I have ADHD. Like, I'm so serious, but like
Well.
all of these things are me. Like the entrepreneurship, my obsession with Black history, and my obsession
Hmm.
with like post industrial, like living and growing up in post industrial city, church hurt,
Oh yeah, we got
fashion,
a whole little sector
um,
over here for you because this
I'm
is
screaming, I'm going to
yeah.
bed. We're not doing that.
We
Like
do.
travel, family travel, like mom life, like all these science, like all these things are me, and
Hmm.
I don't want to scare people. So I'm trying to figure out a way to deliver that.
And you know what? That's my dilemma right now because, like, I'm starting off my channel. I only got like 700 subscribers right now, but it's been rather easy for me to like, get the entry in because I don't post that often.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm like usually on somebody else's channel that has like 25,000
Yeah.
subscribers, all that type of stuff. So, um is it like but that's all concentrated around church. I'm like I
Mhm.
don't want to necessarily talk about church. Like I
Yeah.
sometimes want to talk about like I uploaded a video about like some personal story of mine. I did a story time and I'm like, okay, well maybe this will take off. It didn't. It was horrible, like the views and stuff. Because I'm not in that algorithm, so I'm like, well, am I going to
Exactly. And it's
yeah,
so hard, like switching back and forth, because
yeah.
I had this video that went mega viral in which it, it's me, but that's not what I be talking about. So thanks for the follows, but I'm probably only going to be talking about this like twice a year.
Right,
And so
right.
then that messes you up again. But it's like I have to the point where this year it's like I'm posting and doing whatever as soon as I figure out the delivery.
Yeah,
And y'all just
yeah.
gonna have to take it or not.
I think
Um,
I've heard like because I do research and stuff. So y'all make sure y'all listen up in the chat too, and hit like for me and everything. But I think it's like they said I've heard that you gotta upload at least 3 times a week on YouTube. I don't know
mm,
about the other apps. I do all that AI stuff
mhm.
and look and see. So I think that's pretty much what may help you, but it is like a niche type of thing going on.
Everything that I talk about is very niche. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, from like my Black travel and intertwining like history in that, to me
You
being
would
like
do
a Black
excellent on
Disney
YouTube with all of
mom,
that.
like everything is very niche. So I'm figuring it
Yeah.
out. But me and my granddad, we did record a little something, and then he like was like, "I didn't sign up for no story time tonight," and that was the end. Mind you, this man was on a telethon yesterday. I called him. I said, "Oh, I heard you on Facebook Live. You talked for 30 minutes straight. What was up with that?"
I wouldn't dare ask my granddad to do nothing like that because he'll be just like he'll start cussing. I'm
Well, I
done.
no, I was like, okay, now I was like, let's talk trash. I don't know how to talk trash. I've
Yeah,
never played
yeah,
sports.
all of that.
I'm like, he was talking trash on that Facebook Live though.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it was
you
kind of
know
my
he
fault too.
be.
I just went and kind of like we were just sitting around, had the fireplace going. It was just us. So I pulled out my camera and I went and just like put the mic on him. And then he was like, "What are we doing?" So I probably should not have done that. He
These
claims
old
that he
men
is
in the
going to come down
80s.
here just to record with me, and he said that we're going to record a bunch of them. I'm like, that's not how that works, but fine.
Well, yeah, you could a little bit,
I
you
could, but
could, but that defeats the purpose.
you can't tell nobody nothing.
My granddad don't. At least your granddad will be willing to come down there, because mine don't even come an hour and a half from Saginaw to
I'm
Detroit, because he don't
screaming.
like the big city. So
Understood. My granddad doesn't fly.
he still drives way down there.
This man took the train this summer.
Are you serious?
Do
How?
you know how much it cost to
I know it was at least a
ride?
grand,
And then, it's long, like it's
because
long
you got to go to
distance.
Chicago.
Or
Then
you
you
go to
got.
Toledo. If you go to Toledo, you don't have to go to Chicago. But anyways, he has to have the sleeper car because like that's a long way to not have privacy. And I'm like, do you know that you could be flying first class for like a quarter of this? But he doesn't. He doesn't fly. The man was in the Air Force. He doesn't fly because I guess at some point when he was down here working a hotel job, he said the pilots used to come in and get drunk and go fly. So
What we gonna do with these old
this
men?
man literally, I don't know if you remember when he was on Sunday's Best. You remember that? When he did the commercial on Sunday's Best?
I don't remember that. No,
He
with
did a
Jessica Reedy
commercial.
was on there.
Yes, he did a commercial on
Y'all know
Sunday's Best.
Jessica Reedy is from my hometown, Saginaw, Michigan, because these are gospel people over
Oh,
here.
okay, okay. Okay,
So
so Sunday's
yeah.
Best calls and they're like, hey, Jessica wants to have you on. We're featuring all the finalist mentors. And she wants to have you. We have 2 plane tickets ready for you and accommodations. Just let us know your preference in the airport. He was like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm not flying nowhere. He was like, when do I have to be there?
And were they taping in DC or
Atlanta.
Atlanta? Okay, well that ain't that bad.
No, but still. So him and my grandmother got on the road. My grandmother was hot, but she didn't want to miss out on it. So they got on the
Uh,
road and they had to be there like the next day.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it is when they call you. You have to be there like the next day,
Yeah,
usually.
and he did it. They rolled into the studio. But
Wow.
he does this like it my this man has not been on a plane in my lifetime.
Well, my granddad used to, when he was like in the union and stuff, he would
Mhm.
go when they had trips and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
wow, that's
No, this
whew.
man he can get where he needs to go. He's either gonna talk somebody into driving with him, or he will get on that train. He's been on the train to California, Texas, to wherever. It's ridiculous. He'll be on the train for 3 days. Like, sir,
And
a whole lot
we
of life
did
has happened out here.
we did that on at North Charter
Mhm.
in the 5th grade. Kebby wasn't going there yet, but we went
You
on
know, like
that
cross
train.
country train.
We went 9 days, 17 states. It was like a whole week, and we went to Colorado.
What?
Yeah, we were like way up in the mountains in Colorado, Sacramento, California. Most people, I don't think, believe me when I say it, like we went on
That's
that trip.
insane. Yeah, and in the fifth
Oregon
grade.
and Montana in
Were y'all doing
2005.
being pioneer women
And then
on the
yeah, it was Lewis and
Trail of
Clark.
Tears?
It was Lewis and Clark. We were, we
Oh,
had
the Lewis
did
and
that
Clark train. Isn't
yeah,
that a thing? That's a train, right?
no, it wasn't the train. It was just like we followed that, like the
Yeah. Yeah,
trail
but it's a
kind of.
thing.
Yeah. And I was, I got sick of cell trade. What happened?
What? The Lewis and Clark expedition is insane.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I got sickle cell trait. I was doing horrible up in the mountains. It was horrible. So um
Wow.
yeah, okay, so last couple things. So this super flu, nobody knows anything. Nobody really we don't really have guidance. So biggest thing, we can wash our hands. The flu shot really isn't working from
Well, and that's still get the flu shot if you can
I
and
got
you're willing
yeah.
to. You have about 2 weeks for you are at like full protection.
Mhm.
But I think I tried to write it down what the vaccine is currently protecting from. But I mean, I would still say get the flu shot. Before I got sick,
Well,
I was
yeah.
planning on getting the flu shot
Yeah.
because like I can't imagine after having recovered from that getting the flu shot right now. I mean, not getting the flu shot, but getting the flu right now. I can't.
Mm-mm.
I, hang it up.
Yeah. But is it so it's I don't know if it's protecting whatever this random
Oh
virus
no
is
no no no
though.
no.
It's
That's a random
not.
virus.
Okay. Okay. But still get the flu shot, get whatever. So for you, what helped was Mucinex and Allegra.
Mucinex, Allegra, and ibuprofen.
Okay.
Cool mist
So
humidifier.
y'all are gonna have to play
Whew.
around with some stuff if you
It's
happen to
with
get
these
it.
with viruses. It's all about treating your symptoms,
Yeah.
and it's like it's a virus. It's not a bacteria, so antibiotics aren't going to help you with this virus.
No.
And
I
I
hate
know
taking
like it
antibiotics.
sounds very like who don't know that people don't know that,
Antibiotics are horrible. I hate taking those.
and they
Um,
it antibiotics are for bacterial illnesses.
Not viral. Good. I knew that, but I heard it like a long, long time ago. So
hmm So like
okay,
if you get strep throat, you're gonna get a round of antibiotics.
okay, but not
But like
viral.
COVID
Yeah.
is a virus. And that's a whole mess because even like a lot of the antivirals, insurances aren't covering them right now. Elections have consequences.
They do. And people the unfortunate part is first of all, I'm gonna have to have you back on because like this was just so good. I didn't get to half of what I wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna have to have you back on. I don't know when, but they encourage you to do the whole politics thing because I know that's really your background for
I'm
real.
screaming.
But yeah, like that's the ultimate thing, and I feel like this year a lot of people are gonna pay the ultimate price because of foolishness. And
And
you know,
just being obtuse.
yeah. Yeah, it's like people are willingly just throwing away sound doctrine. I mean, the Bible said that was gonna happen anyways, but it was like, people are just throwing away sound doctrine, anything with any substance, they just reject it. And it makes it's horrible being an intellectual or somebody that knows a little bit of something. I feel for you, girl, because I know you are tried on every side. So yeah, because you go to school for all these years for
And
people
for
that use
what?
AI to for AI, girl, bye.
And then it's like, oh my god, I don't want to go on a tangent. But it's so frustrating seeing like people in places like where we grew up or other post-industrial cities like advocate for data centers. And I'm like, y'all be talking about F cancer all the time. Have you not made the connection that your families have been working in the plants?
And we always at a cancer center. They just built one here, Henry Ford.
Your family has been working in plants for generations. Our houses and our schools are located near these plants.
Mm-hmm.
Our drinking water is contaminated because of these plants.
Mm-hmm.
Add a data center in there, there might be one person working at a data center.
If that.
If that.
And I'm
And the
trying
amount
to,
of water that it takes to cool these data centers, and we're just querying everything in AI,
yeah,
guys.
yeah. And I try to, learn enough about, use it just to be up to date with my knowledge, skills, and stuff like that. Because I don't want to be left behind. Because I did that for too long. But it's just like you do get the ick a little bit, just a little bit, because it's like all I know is don't bring that mess over here to the
Yeah,
hood because we already done been through enough. Put that out there in Shelby Township
we've
somewhere,
already been
honey.
through enough. But the thing is, it's never going to be that. You can look at Tennessee, and if these are the same communities that were like the initial what we deemed environmental justice communities, they're putting them there because who's going to push back?
Especially when you
We're
don't
of
have.
low socioeconomic status, don't
Hmm.
have a seat at these tables. We haven't been involved in the zoning process, whether we had the opportunity to be involved or not. It's been working for generations to have these polluting facilities here. Why would I put it anywhere else? Just put it next to the pig farm. There
I
are
got okay.
places in Tennessee where they literally are, they have pig farms. They collect the poop. The poop has to go somewhere. It's being sprayed on black homes, homes of black people. These people are sick because they are breathing in pig poop every day.
Okay, I got one more question because I had so much stuff. I was like, I need to start writing stuff down. Do you think? Because I had saw that one of the glaciers was like melting at a crazy rate.
Mhm.
Does that have anything to do with these viruses and flus? Because I've seen like they
I've
say
seen research that connects that.
like ancient diseases
Mhm.
being connected to
Yeah.
glaciers
I'm not
melting.
I'm not sure I I have not dove into that at all. But I have
But
seen research.
you've seen
Yeah,
that before.
I've
Okay.
heard of that.
Okay.
I've also seen that flu rates are connected to rise in Nazi policies. So there's that.
God is not mocked. We gonna definitely be back because I wanna next time we gotta talk about politics and how this all come. I mean, we already touched on politics, but I was like, I need to hear your thoughts on politics. I'll probably have another guest, Courtney or somebody on, to come on and talk about it. But oh my God, like I had a amazing time talking to you. Like, I thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming on here. It was good catching up and everything and learning more about you because I know, you've been gone away for, off and on for a little while. So, wow. Well, is there anything else you would like to share? Make sure did you want to share your social media or anything?
Um, wait, do I get to chat? Am I talking to
I
people?
think you can, yeah.
Oh, okay. Uh, wait, no, I can't. I don't think I can type. Well, it's my name.
Oh,
My Instagram is my name, so it's Andrea Pugh-Kelley all together, and my TikTok is Diz Girl Magic, DIS Girl Magic, like Black Girl Magic. Um, yeah, no, I had super fun. And we didn't even have to talk about my church hurt. That was so much fun. Thank you for sparing me.
oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh no,
Yes.
that was God. He blocked it. That was great.
God blocked it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be you said you're gonna do a movie on that, so that's what you're gonna have to do. I'm not gonna even get into that work.
I am going to blow all their wigs back when Oprah, Tyler Perry, whoever, Lifetime, Hallmark calls me.
I've talked about that situation on a
They're
different
never gonna see
platform.
it coming.
Not your situation, but I've talked about it like I touched on it. Yeah, it's crazy.
They're never
It-
gonna see it coming.
mm, girl, but you gonna get over that church hurt. You gonna get
I
over
am
it.
over it.
You
That
over it?
was
Okay, that's good.
yeah. And I yeah, no. I was okay. I quickly, and I'm thankful that I was able to almost immediately have the revelation that people are the problem.
They
As
are.
stupid as simple as that sounds, like people are the problem.
And
And
I
people
just,
treat the church like a 2 cent sorority.
and we're so abusive. Everybody is so abusive. You don't have to, when you go deal with other cultures, this isn't normal. And I hate comparing and contrasting. I don't believe in doing stuff like that, but we're abusive and it needs to stop. And when we call people out on stuff, don't sit there and get, I would respect people more if you say, I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I'm not changing it, than if you sit there and you try to gaslight the people like we're wrong for bringing it up. Because now people be saying, oh, y'all always bringing up church hurt. No, correct your behavior.
Yeah. And the only thing that I will say about the situation is that was literally because the pastor wanted to raise, and like the deacons didn't feel like it was fiscally responsible.
Especially at that time, because Great Recession was
Gas was $50 a gallon.
girl, we graduated at the like worst time in history. And yeah, but people, I mean, it's just stuff like that. And it's and I didn't really know much about that situation because I grew up apostolic Kojic. So, Baptist is a whole different world than what I'm
Mhm.
used to. So I didn't really know. All I had brought up the lady. Is that lady still out there on that corner?
Miss Barb, that's my girl. I don't know, probably.
Cause she was out there like right before the pandemic, at least. I don't know about now, but
Hey.
because people are fed up with that, and you can't blame her.
But we can talk offline about my girl, cause I would be out there. That wasn't about to pass his salary.
She needs to come on the YouTube.
She will come. She will come. I'm telling you, that's my girl.
Lord have
People like
mercy.
to make people out to just be crazy.
Well, if
You
you
made
don't,
me crazy.
yeah, no, and that's that gaslighting stuff. But God is not mocked, and people ain't gonna get away with the bull crap that they've been getting away with. Trust.
Yeah.
So, you know. All right, well, honey, you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much, chat, for
Let me
all
go
your
find my
warm
kid.
comments. Oh my God! Please tell your baby I thank her for her patience tonight, and tell
Hello.
Kebby also. I'm gonna have to have Kebby back on next time too,
Oh
so
boy.
that'll be
Oh
fun.
Lord. Yeah. Yeah.
Because he could go about the church stuff, I'm sure. So
I'll be more honest. I'm more fun.
yeah, I still want to hear his perspective because he'll be like, "Oh well, no." It'll be a key, but
Mm-mm.
all right, y'all. Everybody have a good evening. Take care.